First named tropical storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. You're watching Weather Command. I'm Stephen Morgan. It is Wednesday, June 17th, and just getting word from the National Hurricane Center that tropical storm Arthur has formed. There has been a tick up in its intensity. The winds are now at 40 miles an hour. It's also moving just a little bit quicker northeast at 9 miles an hour, and that pressure, as of the latest advisory, is down an additional millibar at 1,001 millibars. We're going to be going to Port Arthur, Texas in just a minute, but want to bring you up to speed on this advisory because it is a significant one. The average first named storm in the Atlantic Basin doesn't happen until June 20th, so technically you can say we are ahead of schedule. But this is one sloppy looking storm, isn't it? Tropical Storm Arthur, there was recently a wind gust at Shoals International Airport. That's on Galveston Island, close to Houston, about 50 miles away, right along the Gulf, that gusted up to 48 miles an hour. So technically that is a tropical storm force wind. And there has been evidence based on Air Force Reserve hurricane hunters. So they've been flying into this storm. And when we talked to Dr. Michael Brennan earlier this morning, he was saying that there was recon happening. They have found evidence to support the fact that this is now a tropical storm. But it goes without saying, it is a pretty messy one, right? As we have winds that are up to 40 miles an hour. And this thing, as far as a landfall goes, it's going to be a very close call. When we look at when will we see landfall, if we do get one of those technically, it's going to be tough to see. A lot of times when you have a more organized system or an organized storm, you're able to see when that core, when that eye moves over land. But in this case, it's hugging it. It's been straddling the Texas coastline. There hasn't been much change when we look at the overall cone, though. But now that we have Arthur, we'll be watching pretty carefully, ultimately, where this thing moves. One thing is certain when we're looking at what a tropical storm and what these tropical systems can do. And really, when we look at the forecast, there's not going to be a ton of changes here. Very heavy rain expected, anywhere between 10 to upwards of some pockets picking up 20 inches of rain, and some gusty winds. The gusty winds that we've seen on the order of 40 to close to 50 miles an hour, like we had at Shoals International Airport on Galveston Island, that's going to be something we pay close attention to. But overall, from a perspective of impacts we'll see, a little bit of a surge threat expected for the coast of Louisiana, maybe up to 4 feet. Now, I think we just got the new product in here with the tropical storm warning. That has actually been expanded westward. It's a little closer to Galveston Island. It's actually right along the Bolivar Peninsula. High Island is now under that tropical storm warning. Our Katie Byrne, who's in Port Arthur, Texas, she too is now under that tropical storm warning as this thing is going to be moving on through. So we're talking about a storm that it's entirely possible the next update that we'll get is in a few hours from the National Hurricane Center. This thing could be making a landfall. It's had a really tough time moving away from the shore. It's really liked being very close to land. But still, there is some suggestion here that we've got that rich moisture moving in. The storm surge threat that we have, up to 3 feet, perhaps up to 4 feet possible for that Louisiana coastline. And we also have a bit of a storm surge concern a little farther to the east and closer to Grand Isle. So we'll keep close tabs on it. I think when we look at possible impacts, though, the big one is going to be the rain, and that has always been the case. Just a couple of days ago, we had a more notable boundary draped along the southern Gulf Coast. And that boundary that we have in place has acted as this enhancement to some really heavy rain. But now that we've got Tropical Storm Arthur, which is in the western Gulf, and really, when you look at where the center is, it's hard to make out that center. But with this closed circulation that we have, the ability that it's going to have for the next few hours at least to pick up some additional moisture, all that's getting scooped up is eventually going to get slung inland because this thing is going to be moving northeast. And as it does interact with that boundary, some really heavy rain is going to be falling.